The WNBA world just got hit with a plot twist nobody saw coming, and it's all centered around Angel Reese. Just days after her highly anticipated showdown with Caitlin Clark, the Bayou Barbie has gone radio silent. No post-game interviews, no social media posts, no public appearances. Nothing. Fans are starting to ask the question everyone's thinking but nobody's saying out loud: where is Angel Reese? The timing couldn't be more explosive. Caitlin Clark didn't just win the game, she owned the spotlight, racking up points, highlights, and headlines like she was born for this moment. Meanwhile, Reese's absence has fueled endless speculation. Is she ducking the media? Dealing with an injury? Or is this the first sign that the mental pressure of the Clark rivalry is finally catching up? On Twitter, the theories are going wild. Some say she's planning a huge comeback statement. Others claim she's avoiding the humiliation of facing the press after such a high-profile loss. Whatever the truth is, the silence is only making the drama louder, because in sports, disappearing after a loss doesn't just raise eyebrows, it raises the stakes. And right now, Angel Reese's next move could define her season. The Angel Reese-Caitlin Clark rivalry has been one of the most electric storylines in women's basketball over the past year, ever since their fiery NCAA tournament clash, complete with the now iconic "you can't see me" gesture. The two have been locked in a battle that's transcended the court, sparking debates on sportsmanship, competitiveness, and the rising profile of the women's game. Fast forward to the WNBA, and the tension hasn't cooled. If anything, the stakes have gotten higher. Both players have brought their college fan bases with them, and every meeting between their teams has been hyped like a playoff final. The league has leaned into it too, marketing their matchups as must-see events that could single-handedly spike TV ratings. The latest chapter in this saga was supposed to be Reese's redemption game, a chance to prove she could match Clark's scoring, outshine her on defense, and silence critics who claim her game doesn't translate as well to the pro level. But what unfolded instead was a night that tilted the narrative in Clark's favor. From the opening tip, Clark looked locked in. Her three-pointers were dropping, her passes were crisp, and she was feeding off the energy of a crowd that seemed to be 80% on her side. Reese, on the other hand, struggled to find her rhythm. Whether it was foul trouble, missed shots, or simply being out of sync, she never looked like the dominant force fans expected. By the final buzzer, Clark had racked up a stat line that would make any rookie proud, while Reese's numbers told a different story: modest points, limited rebounds, and a visible frustration that was hard to ignore. Still, nobody could have predicted what came next. Post-game media availability is standard in the WNBA, especially for high-profile players after marquee matchups. But while Clark fulfilled her press duties, smiling and answering every question, Reese was nowhere to be found. Reporters were told she was unavailable for comment. And within hours, her social media went silent too. For a player as outspoken and savvy as Angel Reese, the sudden disappearance was jarring. This is someone who has never shied away from the spotlight, whether to clap back at critics, celebrate a win, or promote her personal brand. Her absence was like a missing puzzle piece in a story that the whole sports world was eager to dissect. In the days since, speculation has run wild. Is this a calculated move to let the noise die down before speaking? Is she dealing with something behind the scenes? Or did the weight of the rivalry and the loss push her to take an unexpected step back? Whatever the reason, the silence is deafening. And in a rivalry built on back-and-forth energy, one player's absence shifts the dynamic entirely, because in sports, especially at the highest level, you don't just compete on the court. You compete in the headlines, the narratives, and the minds of the fans. Right now, Caitlin Clark owns all three. The rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark has never been just about basketball. It's been a clash of styles, personalities, and public perception. Reese, with her unapologetic swagger and outspoken confidence, built her brand on proving doubters wrong. Clark, with her deep shooting range and quiet but deadly competitiveness, became the golden girl of the sport. Together, they fueled one of the most marketable rivalries women's basketball has ever seen. But in their latest face-off, the balance tipped and not in Reese's favor. From the jump, Caitlin Clark played like she had something to prove. She was hitting logo threes, threading impossible passes, and controlling the tempo of the game with surgical precision. Every bucket she scored was met with a deafening roar from the crowd. Meanwhile, Reese looked off. Her body language was tense, her shot selection questionable, and she found herself out of position on defensive rotations more than once. By halftime, Clark was on pace for a career high, and Reese had more fouls than made baskets. The optics were brutal, not just because of the numbers, but because Clark seemed to thrive under the pressure, while Reese appeared to shrink from it. The final whistle only made things worse. In most cases, a disappointing performance would be followed by a quick media appearance, a few cliché quotes about getting better next time, and then everyone moves on. But Reese didn't give the media, or the fans, that closure. That's when the first twist hit. Angel Reese was officially unavailable for post-game interviews. No locker room availability, no courtside comments, no Instagram stories, nothing. The player who had never hesitated to speak her mind suddenly had nothing to say. The absence was glaring. This wasn't just any game, it was the game. The kind of matchup that drives highlight reels, TV ratings, and jersey sales. Reporters scrambled to piece together what happened. Was it injury? Illness? A heated moment behind the scenes? The team offered no explanation beyond personal reasons. And, in the vacuum of official information, social media took over. Twitter, or X, was flooded with theories. Some fans defended her, suggesting she needed space to process the loss. Others accused her of dodging accountability. Rival fans, especially those in Clark's corner, didn't hold back, flooding her mentions with taunts and memes comparing her disappearance to Clark's dominance. Then came the second layer to the twist. Endorsements. A sports marketing insider claimed that Reese's absence from the media wasn't just about avoiding tough questions, it might also impact her sponsorship deals. Brands love visibility, and disappearing after a high-profile loss could raise concerns about marketability under pressure. This fueled even more speculation. Was this a strategic retreat to reset her image? Or was it a genuine emotional reaction to a rivalry that has started to define her career in ways she can't fully control? What's certain is that the silence shifted the spotlight entirely onto Caitlin Clark. By not showing up, Reese inadvertently gave Clark the uncontested post-game narrative, the soundbites, the headlines, the victory lap. In the high-stakes world of sports rivalries, that's as dangerous as losing on the scoreboard, because in the WNBA games aren't just won in the paint, they're won in the press room and on social media. And right now, Angel Reese isn't playing either of those games. The silence from Angel Reese didn't fade with time, it grew louder. Every day without a statement turned the story from a post-game absence into a full-blown media mystery. Sports talk shows opened with it, TikTok creators were making theories, even ESPN analysts were speculating on whether Reese's disappearance was a calculated move or a career misstep. The escalation hit its peak when footage surfaced from the team's private post-game area. A leaked clip, grainy and only a few seconds long, showed Reese storming past reporters with her hood up, ignoring calls of Angel. "Can we get a comment?" The clip went viral instantly, racking up millions of views. To fans, it confirmed one thing: she chose to disappear. Then came the shocking reveal. An insider source, speaking anonymously to a major sports blog, claimed that Reese had clashed with coaching staff in the locker room immediately after the loss. According to the source, there was a heated exchange about her performance, effort level, and attitude on the court. The conversation allegedly got so tense that Reese left the arena without even joining the team for their standard post-game huddle. While the team refused to confirm or deny the report, the damage was already done. The idea that Reese's absence wasn't due to injury or illness, but rather internal conflict, was gasoline on the fire. Suddenly, this wasn't just about losing to Caitlin Clark, it was about potentially fracturing her own locker room. Endorsement chatter flared up again. Sports marketing experts noted that while rivalries can boost a player's brand, public perceptions of being a bad teammate can tank it just as quickly. Brands want competitive energy, but they don't want drama that looks out of control. And then Caitlin Clark herself was asked about Reese's absence. Her answer was measured, even sympathetic. "I respect Angel as a player. I hope she's okay. I think we all want to see her back out there." It was the perfect response, calm, composed, and subtly positioning Clark as the bigger person in the rivalry. That clip was replayed endlessly, framing Clark as not just the victor on the court, but also in the court of public opinion. Meanwhile, Angel Reese still said nothing. The absence of her voice meant the narrative was being written without her. And in sports media, once the public decides the storyline, it's hard to take it back. What was once just a bad game had now snowballed into questions about her professionalism, her resilience, and her ability to handle the pressure. That comes with being one of the faces of the WNBA. This was no longer just about a rivalry. It was about Angel Reese's identity as an athlete, and whether she was losing control of her own story. As Angel Reese's silence dragged on, the public conversation reached a fever pitch. Social media became a battleground of opinions, and the divide was sharp. On one side, loyal Reese supporters defended her fiercely. They argued that the media was blowing things out of proportion, turning a single absence into a full-blown crisis. Hashtags like #LetAngelBreathe and #MediaBullying started trending, with fans posting highlights of her past performances to remind everyone just how dominant she could be when locked in. On the other side, critics were merciless. Sports radio callers, YouTube commentators, and Twitter threads labeled her a sore loser. Memes comparing her to disappearing after the heat gets too real spread rapidly. For every fan trying to protect her image, there were two ready to tear it down. The industry reaction was just as intense. Former WNBA players chimed in during studio segments, some calling for patience, others warning that disappearing without explanation could damage her credibility with teammates, coaches, and brands. A retired legend put it bluntly, "In this league, you face the music, win or lose. Silence sends the wrong message." Endorsement experts took note, too. Reese had recently become one of the most marketable young stars in women's sports, but as one marketing exec told Sports Business Daily, the danger isn't one bad game. The danger is looking unreliable. Brands want the drama on the court, not off it. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's stock soared. Every headline about Reese's absence seemed to indirectly lift Clark's profile. She was doing post-game interviews, charity events, and even casual Instagram lives with fans, all of which made her look accessible, grounded, and in control. Sports blogs began publishing why Caitlin Clark is winning the PR battle think pieces, which only deepened the contrast. TV networks leaned into the storyline, replaying highlights of the showdown alongside the now infamous clip of Reese walking past reporters. Talk show hosts debated whether this was the start of a mental collapse or a calculated media strategy. Either way, Reese's name was in the headlines, just not in the way her camp would want. Even sponsors were subtly reacting. Eagle fans noticed that some of Reese's endorsement partners had gone quiet on promoting her content, choosing instead to spotlight other athletes. Whether intentional or not, the optics were clear. The Reese brand was on pause. Through it all, Reese maintained her silence. No tweets, no Instagram posts, no interviews. For her supporters, it was proof that she was taking time for herself. For her detractors, it was confirmation that she couldn't handle the heat. The WNBA thrives on rivalries, but this was becoming something else. It wasn't just a sports debate anymore. It was a question of character, image, and the high-pressure balance between competition and public perception. And with every passing day, the gap between Angel Reese's public image and Caitlin Clark's only grew wider. Just when the noise around Angel Reese's disappearance seemed to be peaking, a fresh twist sent the conversation into overdrive. Late Tuesday night, an unverified but viral photo began circulating on Twitter and Instagram. It appeared to show Reese at a private event in Los Angeles, smiling, dressed to impress, and very much not recovering in silence. The image sparked chaos. Was this proof she'd been fine all along? Had she skipped team duties for personal appearances? Her critics jumped on it instantly, claiming it confirmed their suspicions that this was never about injury or mental health, it was about priorities. Supporters fired back, pointing out that the photo's date and context were unverified, warning against jumping to conclusions. Then came another shock. A leaked report from a WNBA insider suggested that tensions inside Reese's locker room had been building for weeks. The source alleged that some teammates were frustrated with her me-first attitude and inconsistent availability. If true, this wasn't just a public perception problem, it was an internal chemistry crisis. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's camp continued to move full speed ahead. The contrast was impossible to ignore. While Reese's whereabouts were debated, online, Clark was on a whirlwind media tour, securing yet another sponsorship deal and racking up millions of views on her latest highlights. It felt like the balance of power in the league's most talked-about rivalry was shifting in real time. And then, the biggest cliffhanger yet. Out of nowhere, Reese's official Twitter account posted for the first time in days, just a single, cryptic message. "See you Friday." No context, no explanation, no clarification. But WNBA fans quickly realized that Friday was the date of her team's next nationally televised game. Suddenly, the storyline flipped from "Where is Angel Reese?" to "What is Angel Reese about to do?" Was she planning to make a statement on the court? addressed the media in a bombshell interview? Or was this all part of a calculated move to keep her name dominating the headlines? One thing was certain: when the cameras went live on Friday night, the basketball world would be watching, and Angel Reese's next move could either silence her critics or give them more ammunition than ever. The countdown to Friday night is officially on, and it's not just another WNBA game anymore. It's a showdown of reputation, pride, and redemption. Angel Reese's silence has created one of the most suspenseful build-ups in recent league memory, and every fan, critic, and commentator will have their eyes glued to the screen. But here's the thing: this isn't just about one player disappearing after a high-profile loss. This is about the power of narrative in sports. One week you're on top of the world, and the next, you're the center of a storm you didn't see coming. Or maybe you did see it coming, and you're using it to your advantage. So, here's where you come in. What do you think Friday night will bring? Will Angel Reese step onto that court with a fire we've never seen before, turning this rivalry into her personal redemption story? Or will Caitlin Clark once again steal the spotlight, cementing her position as the league's ultimate rising star? Drop your predictions in the comments. Share this video so every WNBA fan in your circle joins the conversation. And if you're riding with Angel Reese, let's hear it. Spam those if you're Team Caitlin, light up the comments with, because no matter which side you're on, one thing's for sure: this drama isn't over. It's just getting started. Make sure you're locked in Friday night. Whatever happens, it's going to be one of those games we talk about for years. And when that final buzzer sounds, we'll be right here breaking it all down.